friends, welcome to our peaceful little oasis out here in the bush. And today's video is all about this rustic Woodfire stove barbecue that we built using materials that we found laying around our property. So technically it was stuff that you'd consider junk. I think they call this upcycling, so it's better to try and build something with old materials than just chuck them out. So I think it turned out pretty cool. Give you guys a quick overview of how it works. So obviously there's a fire burning in here, and for those winter days when you have timber that's unseasoned and wet and whatnot, this is a storage area to keep it nice and dry. Of course, this isn't a safety review design or anything like that. It's just a rustic bush thing, so there's always the risk of an ember falling down, so it's always important to have a bit of water around, safety. And I probably should be wearing shoes, but you know, I grew up in the 90s and back then this kind of thing was normal, so anyway, shoes are good. Stay safe out there, guys. And right now we've actually got a interesting little moment here, because when I filmed the original video of building this barbecue, it was about a year ago, and there was no grass, the dam was completely empty, and now the place looks completely different. So to see how this barbecue was built, we're going to go back in time and see the place how it looked a year ago. But in the meantime, we'll just show you guys basically why it's built the way it's built. And so we've got enough space here for basically 2 lots of cooking, or we can have something boiling here or have some sausages cooking here, and we've got this timber here which once it's burnt down into embers and ready, then we can keep transferring it over, so you can cook for a very long time. You can cook for as long as you've got timber to burn. And so we found this random fiber cement plate and made a nice little bench out of it, and we've got kindling here because the embers can't make it from over here to over there, so we wouldn't have kindling under there. And as a final design, once we get a welder, we're also going to put a lip here so that embers can't fall down. Be a bit more safe then. But in the meantime, here's what we got: a bench for preparing what we're cooking, and we've got all the goods happening here. So got the water nice and ready to put the broccolinis in. Let's check that out. So we've got a few things to cook today, but the first one is these green beans and broccolini. And after this, once this bit of wood burns down here, we're going to put some meat on skewers on here. So we've got our skewers here, and not only can we have grills or hot plates, but we can also put skewers with meat on them. Bit of a Russian thing called shashlik, so we'll show you that in a minute. But in the meantime, let's go back in time and go back to the moment when we put all this together after finding the random bricks in our place. G'day guys, welcome to our channel and welcome to this Woodfire barbecue build. While we were doing some work on our land, we found some random stuff that we're going to try and use today to make something out of. So I'll give you all a quick overview of what we have to work with. So main component is bricks. That's what we're going to build the structure out of. And then these metal plates, probably wrought iron, probably not cast iron, but when I found them, they were buried underground for something like 10 years and they're still really good. So it's going to make a great base for the barbecue. Who knows how that'll turn out so far, but we'll see how we go. And lastly, we've got this hot plate here that looks like it might have been an archaeological discovery one day, and we'll have to give that a bit of a clean. And we've also got a grill there as well to cook some snags on and whatnot. Alright guys, welcome back. We've got the foreman Luna here, and we're just doing some measurements. I've also covered up since the last shot because the sun's really hot, and you know what, slip, slop, slap, it's pretty important when you're out in the sun. And so if we take a look here, we can see that we've got 3 bricks long, 3 bricks wide, and basically we're going to transfer this U shape now over there. because we want to use the full dimensions of this metal plate. And yeah, let's see how we go. There's one more piece I forgot to mention before. We found a random concrete plate here, and we're going to make a little bench next to the barbecue out of it. So everything's down on the ground, so we know where to put everything, and might as well go ahead and get started, lay the first brick.
Looking good.
That's the start of our barbecue right there. Gonna make sure it's parallel to the fence, so it looks nice to the eye. And we've done some really intricate leveling work out here. I basically just moved the dirt around with my feet.
Now just a couple more layers to go, hey?
Yeah. Alrighty, so we've got the bulk of the brickwork complete. Let's take a look inside there. It actually looks like a little house. And something I decided to do that, I don't know, you guys might find cool, is that the gaps here were a lot bigger before. So what I did was, instead of having this brick right up against this one, having gaps this big, requiring us to cut a whole bunch of half bricks, I simply just slid it forward and created this kind of zigzag pattern of vents. Considering we're going to have firewood stored here, it's good to get some airflow going. Alright, this steel panel sure has seen better days, so let's try and get some of the rust off. Come check that out with a close-up.
Looking pretty average.
Yeah. Still not bad for being buried for like 10 years or something. So let's go. Fun fact about using these things is the safest way to do it is you want the wheel to kind of be driving away from you. If you zoom up here, see that? It's spinning away from me. Because what happens when you have it going the other way, or if you have your hand like this, it's going to jerk around and then you can hurt yourself. Now it's time to put the steel plate on top of that, because that's where the fire is going to be burning on. And before we put the steel plate on, let's take a quick look at how the rust conversion process worked out. So I did a bit of an experiment last night, and we got this phosphoric acid rust converter from Bunnings. So I applied it liberally and I left it sitting overnight to see if it would help us get rid of the rust. Phosphoric acid is a pretty mild acid, so I think what I've learned in this process is that this is just for light surface rust. Maybe not for something that's been rusting as long as I've been alive. I don't know how old these steel plates are, but I'll let you guys decide if the effort was worth it. So this bit of metal you would have seen yesterday before it was treated, and so this is it now after being wire brushed, rust converted and wire brushed again. So this part here, I wire brushed it initially for about half an hour, left the rust converter on overnight and wire brushed it again. So the rust converter did add a lot of extra effort to be able to bring the surface to this quality, and just for reference sake, this is what it looked like in the morning. There's a bit of white marks there, and basically it looks more rusty than when we started. So if we flip this heavy panel over, let's check out the other side. This is the side that didn't have any rust converter on it at all, and if anything, to me, if anything, this looks better before the rust converter than after it. So I don't know, working with free materials, cool. Would I recommend using rust converter on something like this? Probably not. Okay, so our Woodfire stove slash barbecue is coming along nicely. We've got the fire chamber all finished up in there, albeit there's a few holes which we've got to patch up, but that's okay. And this is how the two steel pieces turned out. So you can see we've got plenty of room here to have the fire going, and then once the fire burns down and we got the embers, that's when we put the grill and the hot plate on top. So let's finish it up and build the rest of the wall framework, and we'll see how the grill fits on. Hardest thing about working with second-hand bricks is that some of them are different lengths, some of them are a bit wonky. I think even when they built with these bricks in like the 80s or something, they were second-hand back then, so we're really upcycling these here, and looks like our barbecue is just about complete.
Looks good. Very nice.
Let's try out the hot plate and the grill. What do you reckon? Are we going to cook something on this side, or are we going to cook on this side?
Bit of both.
I reckon mashed potatoes. They sit on there boiling.
Sounds good.
And then maybe we'll get some sausages and fry them up on this side. How good's that?
Ben, he's already started on the next project, which is...
Yeah, we're going to have a nice little table on the side here with some storage space inside for all the cooking pots and pans and stuff. And yeah, you can see we've already done the measurements here. We've got 2 bricks by 3 bricks. So we're just going to, once again, transfer that U over there. And
we tucked in this little corner here. Perfect.
Let's wrap this up. Alright guys, our dodgy off-grid barbecue is officially complete. Check this out. Back in the convict days, this would have been prime luxury. You can imagine we're going to have a fire burning in there. Chopping some food over there. cooking it up on the hot plate, putting the snags on the grill. It's going to be pretty good. Look at that. And over there is now where the pots and pans will go. Can turn out so good after a bit of love and care. Give it some olive oil now, and look at that, like brand new. Nice and clean, see that? Of course, something I didn't show on the camera is that just before bringing the oil in, I gave everything a rinse with some water and just gave it a quick wipe down. But basically, this is what we've got now. A really nice hot plate to do some cooking on. Truly amazing what you can do in a few minutes of wire brushing with that drill attachment. Just becomes a completely different product. It's all nice and shiny now, and here's what it looks like when you get started. Just rusty and gross. Not something you'd want to cook on. Alright guys, sun's setting and dinner is ready. Check that out.
Yum.
Hot.
Can't wait to eat it. And these guys are wanting some as well. Hey Luna? Yum.
What Luna isn't telling everybody is she got to eat a piece of this meat before.
Lucky Luna.
She's got some broccolini. A few green beans here. Not forgetting the sausages.
And then Alex taught me how to make Russian potato salad.
Just to keep consistent with the whole cultural theme today.
What's the traditional name?
Olivier, which is, interestingly enough, it's French. So the Russians call it French potato salad and everyone else calls it Russian potato salad. How that came about, we have no idea, but enjoy guys, bon appetit.
Time for a taste test.
Moment of truth.
Delicious. It's always really juicy.
And the secret, guys, is just mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret of every Russian dish, mayonnaise.
And you've always got to have potatoes on the side. Yum.